and welcome to One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing Goodspeed Musicals' production of All Shook Up, inspired by and featuring the songs of Elvis Presley, with book by Joe DiPietro, directed by Daniel Goldstein, and choreographed by Byron Easley, running through August 24th at the Goodspeed Opera House at 6 Main Street, East Haddam, Connecticut. Love me tender by visiting my Patreon page, where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support my work here, as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Patrons get early access to the latest podcast episode, as well as quick reviews of shows that I've recently watched and working on to review here. Your contributions help meet expenses so I can continue to bring these reviews to you. Thank you to my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. Links to my Patreon and podcast pages will be in the description. Loyal fans of the show know I'm generally not a fan of jukebox shows. They generally feel like cash grabs on the part of the show's original creators to feed off the well-intentioned fan base of whomever the songs were originated by, who will come and see the show and leave satisfied because they just heard 25 or so songs that were popularized by those artists being performed live. That is how I feel after leaving Goodspeed's production of All Shook Up. The audience, though mostly consisting of people who are old enough to remember Elvis before he died in August of 1977, had a great time and left the show apparently glad they attended. Also, due to popular demand, the show has been extended to the August 24th end date. So, who am I to argue with the success of this production? To be fair, for a show that I don't like, Goodspeed, under the helm of Daniel Goldstein, put on a well-produced show. Beowulf Boritt, who is one of the most original scenic designers of this generation, created a practical, easily maneuverable set with reversible panels that open and slide on and off stage. Tilly Grimes's costumes are vibrant, but Byron Easley's choreography is hit and miss for me. Some of it was lively and energetic, while other times it fell flat. He lifts a bit of choreography from Chicago's All That Jazz for the opening number, Jailhouse Rock, which I thought was a nice homage. There is a bit of fake guitar playing, which is something I always hate. I always ask, why do we have an instrument for cast members and they don't know how to play it? The biggest problem with All Shook Up is the book. There are too many couples conflicts, while trying also to shoehorn in a message about tolerance and acceptance. With 10 different characters all mixed up in some kind of romantic entanglement by the end of the show, it's overload in the number of conflicts. The story is set in a small conservative town in the 1950s, ruled under the steely eye of Mayor Matilda, played by Amy Hilner Larson, who is enforcing the Mamie Eisenhower Decency Act, forbidding any necking, dancing, or any other perceived lewd activity. When greaser convict Chad, played by Ryan Mack, comes rolling into town on his motorcycle, the town gets turned upside down, inspiring everyone to pursue their secret heart's desires. Honky-tonk owner Sylvia, played by L. Morgan Lee, has hidden feelings for auto shop owner Jim Holler, played by Benjamin Howes. The night I was in attendance, Morgan Lee's understudy, Montria Walker, was on. Sylvia's daughter, Lorraine, played by Jackera Davis, is in love with Matilda's son, Dean, played by Jackson Regan. He feels the same way about her, but since she's black and he's white, if his mother finds out, he'll be promptly sent back to military school. Jim's daughter, Natalie, played by Kerstin Anderson, falls for Chad and disguises herself as a man named Ed to get closer to him. Meanwhile, there's Dennis, played by Jordan Matthew Brown, who is a friend of Natalie and Lorraine, who is in love with Natalie. Chad and Jim are both infatuated with Miss Sandra, played by Jessica Crouch, who is the academic who runs the local museum. Finally, there is one more coupling that I won't even mention because it's a spoiler to the end of the show. It's a lot of romantic twists and turns for a musical loaded with 25 different songs that don't necessarily forward the plot in any way because they're jukebox numbers written with a different intent. Even if it wasn't a musical, it is still a lot of romantic conflicts to juggle all at once. Dean and Lorraine's plot is almost completely dropped in the second act until the finale. Though the cast has little to work with in character development, they valiantly do their best to elevate the hijinks that happen over the course of the show. Montreal Walker brought the house down during Sylvia's number, There's Always Me, which is great that an understudy was able to step in and shine like that. But the real shining star of the show, though, is Kerstin Anderson as Natalie, who is fantastic, going beyond the awkward grease monkey tomboy stereotype and giving the role much-needed depth and complexity. All Shook Up didn't do anything for me. I found it trying to do too much with too many characters while trying to pack the musical with as many Elvis songs as possible. The characters are mostly one-dimensional and blandly written, but Goldstein and his team do a great job in developing the show and the cast to do a fantastic job of making much out of little. So if you're a fan of Elvis, you're probably going to have a great time, as shown by the audience there Sunday night when I was in attendance. As for me, as valiant a job done by the cast and crew, I just couldn't fall in love with this one. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see All Shook Up, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be links to my Patreon and podcast pages, as well as my social media handles where you can follow and support my work. You can also support me by liking and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be Iries and Playhouse's production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.